Hello everyone, Luis Concepcion here from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 22. Here's our agenda for the week. I'll go ahead and cover the news and what we have upcoming, and that'll possibly affect the markets this week. Provide a market overview of the indices, and earnings season is winding down with NVIDIA, which was the last catalyst. Last Thursday, reporting earnings. We got 107 companies reporting earnings. Here's our result from last week. Provided zones 19. One with the exception of NVIDIA, we went 1-0. That being Abercrombie and Fish, which was a outstanding trade if you took it. No entries of 15, and be mindful, PDD, BNS, and Costco, although they are in progress. So pay attention to those zones as they're still valid for this week. So moving on, here's our earnings outlook for the week. And then I went ahead and I added Abercrombie and Fish, bringing our total for the year 38 and 6. Moving into the news for the week, starting with Monday, as you can see, at 7 o'clock, 30 minutes after the open, we have ISM PMI, so that could bring some volatility to the market 30 minutes after the open. So be aware of that if you're getting into trades, try to get out of them before 7 o'clock, or ensure that you plan accordingly for this news report. Additionally, Jerome Powell will be speaking at 10 o'clock, so his speech or his sound bites may cause some additional volatility on Monday, so be aware of that. Moving on to Tuesday, the Japanese yen is a possible in the wee hours of the night may be affected. Moving on to 30 minutes after the open, we have the JOLTS job opening report, so that can cause volatility. So you may want to wait 30 minutes to start trading on Tuesday. The Australian dollar has GDP for those of you trading futures and forex. Be mindful of that after hours on Tuesday. Moving on to Wednesday, this is our first pre-market report for the U.S. We got non-farm unemployment change at 5:15, so that could cause some volatility into the market open. Canadian dollar being affected, so be mindful of that again for those of you trading futures and forex. And then we have another ISM PMI report at 7 o'clock, which is 30 minutes after the open. Canada will be volatile on Wednesday, so you may want to stay away from it. As you can see, it has a report at 6:45 and another one right at 7:45. So that should be interesting for the Canadian dollar. Moving on to Thursday, Euro being affected pre-market, which will affect the US dollar. So be mindful of that as they have a correlation. And then we have unemployment claims pre-market as well that can possibly cause some volatility into the US Open. Euro has an ECB conference. So again, the dollar and the euro will be affected a lot this week. So be mindful of that, hence affecting the US stock markets. And then moving on to Friday, once again, Canadian dollar being affected with the unemployment change. And then it is the first Friday of the month. So we have non-farm payroll and unemployment claims, and that's going to be pre-market on Friday. So we may have some volatility into the open on Friday morning. And that's going to do it for our news for the week. Moving into the charts for the week, starting with the SPX, as you can see, our level is still holding here. We had a nice drawdown from here. They tried to sell the market off on Friday and then brought it right back up. So just be mindful this 59.2941 to 6,007 is still intact. We have room to the downside to fill some gaps. So I'm not sure if we will hold here again this week or they'll actually push the market down. We can have a better idea on Sunday's open. So supply zone 59.29 to 6,007 still intact on the SPX or the SPY. And on the first demand level I have for you is 5691.71 to 5579.12. Moving on to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ showing a little bit more strength. However, our level did hold, pretty much touched our level and then just dropped from it pretty decently, 2159 all the way down to 250. So that was a good $400 point drop on this level. Be mindful of this level now that NVIDIA has reported earnings. That was the catalyst that NVIDIA did hit 140 and dropped nicely from there. However, this level is still intact, 21, let's call it 21,600 to 21,736. if this holds again or we continue to fall, this will be interesting when we come back to reach it. But that is your supply level on the NASDAQ. And demand is going to be 20,170 to 19,595. Moving on to the Dow Jones or the DIA, you can see the Dow Jones has been holding this level. And it's gone in here twice. That level is going to be 423.62 to 430.51. For those of you who are more conservative, this is going to be the level above it. If you do not want to use this level no more, that's going to be 432.48 to 440.80. On the demand side, the first level I have for you is still at 388.83 to 378.24. Now, moving on to the almighty rut. So for the rut, still moving sideways. These are the levels that have been constant for the pretty much since the March. 2133.34 to 2203 on the supply side, and then 1891.59 to 1821.10 on the demand side. Now, moving into earnings for the week, the first company I have for you is going to be Campbell Soup. They are reporting Monday pre-market, ticker symbol CPB. And we're close to this demand. So demand level, you can see we bounced out of here once already. That demand level is going to be 33.27 to 32.01. And then the first supply level I have for you is going to be 39.33 to 40.58. The next company I have for you is SAC, also reporting Monday pre-market. Ticker symbol SAIC. On the demand side, 62.96 to 45.19. On the supply side, 148.66 to 156.80. Moving on to Tuesday morning before the market, first company I have for you is Dollar General. This level has held, is the level that's held it. You can see we came in here, we came out of it. That level is going to be 80.02 to 65.97 on the demand side. And then on the supply side, we have 119.83 to 127.07. Next company I have for you is Signet, ticker symbol SIG. On the demand side, 45.97 to 34.40. On the supply side, first level I have for you is 73.95 to 76.92. In the event of an overshoot, the next level I have for you is going to be at 97.83 to 101.49. Next company I have for you is Ferguson, ticker symbol FERG. On the demand side, 142.47 to 137.27. On the supply side, 215 to 223.37. Next company I have for you is Donaldson, ticker symbol DCI. On the demand side, 62.84 to 60.48. On the supply side, 77.24 to 79.05. Moving on to Tuesday afternoon after the market. No supply in CrowdStrike. First demand level I have for you is 374.48 to 354.80. Moving on to Wednesday morning before the market. Dollar Tree, ticker symbol DLTR. First demand level I have for you is 73.85 to 68.75, with a subsequent level at 56.03 to 49.35 in the event of overshoot. On the supply side, 102.70 to 109. In the event of overshoot, 117.62 to 123.53 on the supply side. Next company I have for you is Thor, ticker symbol THO. Also reporting Wednesday morning. On the demand side, 69.55 to 65.31. On the supply side, 94.88 to 107.02. Moving on to Wednesday after the close. MongoDB is the company I have for you, ticker symbol MDB. On the demand side, 115.71 to 93.43. On the supply side, 253.58 to 279.89. Next company I have for you is PVH, ticker symbol PVH. On the demand side, 52.74 to 43.49. On the supply side, 89.03 to 97.29. Be mindful that there is a subsequent level right above this level, so you may want to play all the way up to 103.32. Next company is Five Below, ticker symbol FIBE. On the supply side, 129.34 to 141.50. On the demand side, 86.67 to 79.86 with a subsequent level at 76.60 to 71.64, and then 70, pretty much $70 to 47.24. So a lot of demand in five below starting at 86.67. Moving on to Thursday morning before the market. The next company I have for you is Toro, ticker symbol TTC. On the demand side, 67.13 to 64.56. On the supply side, 79.91 to 83.03. Next company I have for you reporting Thursday after the market is Broadcom, ticker symbol AVGO. No supply in Broadcom. First demand zone I have for you is 200.95 to 195.16. Next company I have for you is DocuSign, ticker symbol DOCU. On the demand side, 63.50 to 54.30. On the supply side, 107.05 to 113.79. The last company I have for you this week is going to be Lululemon, ticker symbol LULU. On the demand side, 224.39 to 204.59. On the supply side, 390 to 403.41, with a subsequent supply level at 445.11 to 491.90. That's going to do it for the charts this week. If you're not doing so already, do me a favor and follow me on social media. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button for me as well. And if you want to learn more or have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to email me. And then until next time, happy trading.